everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Texans going up against the Vikings. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Larry, in 2 years' time, it will host Super Bowl 52. You get a look inside the impressive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. They come out here in the eye. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Second down, Prescott. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So he rolls out of the pocket left, just ends up finding a safety valve, but no gain there.
No gain, but it looked like they were well coached on the play because he still went through his progressions, and the receivers know that when the quarterback exits the pocket, they have defined routes to run now to get into his sight lines and try and help him out. End up throwing it short to the running back. Give the defense credit for not giving up any yardage. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing on first down is Breeze. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles? Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. On the catch, it's Crowder. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
Kill! Switch! Hey, like 5-5.
Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. So here we go on 4th down with Breeze. He finds his target. It's Crowder. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right? I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation.
but they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. Touchdown, Vikings! Tavon Austin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. Looking for Bolden, and it's intercepted. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
On second down, here's Breeze. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a carry for Bernard. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jonathan Joseph goes under the radar a little bit as one of the better cover corners in the league. But his team knows his value. He can lock up good receivers.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Breeze to throw for it on fourth. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. Give him 16 yards on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a first and goal. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Breeze to throw again. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dante Moncrief, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
A second down throw for Prescott. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Prescott. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go.
A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Caught left side, Hopkins. They'll get 7 out of it, but it brings up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Fourth down, Prescott. Flush to his right. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And on 2nd and 10 now. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. Sanders has it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. He finds his target. It's Crowder. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they're going to speed things up here.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Breeze now on 1st down. Austin's got it left side. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dante Moncrief. as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And he'll bang that one through. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take a knee here. So per the new rules in 2016, this will be brought out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The All-Pro from 2015, Aaron Donald, able to get in and run him down. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
On second down, here's Breeze. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I've become a firm believer over the years that many drops happen before the ball's even snapped. When you call wide receiver screen, as we saw there, I know these guys really well. They're thinking about that play going to the end zone, and sometimes they forget to catch the football first.
Now Breeze on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Breeze to throw for it on fourth. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Prescott looks to throw on first. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Prescott escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete. That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and it's third down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
On third down, it's Prescott. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on fourth down. Fourth down, Prescott. And he can't hang on. That would have been a big interception down here in field goal range. But instead, now they'll get a shot at 3. And out now come the Vikings. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Ready? You waiting? Check me out. We got 3 down.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Underneath, this is Bernard. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jarrell Casey in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. They'll need to get the play off quickly. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
First down throw for Prescott. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Gun. Here's Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Left side here to Sanders. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 21. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. One receiver left, 3 to the right. On first down, Breeze. On the screen, Bernard. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. 2nd down and 4. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go.
Prescott now from the 50. Flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Breeze now on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Mike 50, Mike 50. Kill. Shift. Ready.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here we go.
On third and long, it's Breeze. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze to throw for it on fourth. And it is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And this Texans defense stands tall. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And quickly, they get to the line.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
Gardner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th. Didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the...
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time they were stopped on 4th down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down? Do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves. Let's get back out there and move the ball again?
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a 4th down stop. Making them punt, that's your goal anyway. But a 4th down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves. That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Prescott caught left side, Hopkins. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
It's brought in by Bolden. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Looking to throw, Prescott, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Trip. Here we go. Check 50. Check 50. Left, kill. Switch. 53. Wide. Get wide.
Bree's going to throw here. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Minnesota, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
My second body cost a lot.